Hello everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove. Thanks for joining me today. Today's just having fun with some book pages and turning them into pockets right on some signature papers. So I'm going to start with a couple of basic little envelopes here and pockets. I'm just folding as I'm feeling this out. I don't have anything planned. I just thought I'd turn the camera on and take you along with me, kind of how my brain operates. So I have this beautiful book of trees, Canadian trees. I think it's a kind of book you would use in school, and it's got some really beautiful images on it, but there's a couple of pages that don't, so I will use those pages up first. And I'm just playing with folding papers and creating some pockets. Then I end up making some really fun pockets and belly bands that I glue straight to folded papers ready to insert in my signatures. And I do like having some pages already having pockets in it when I go to sew the signatures in and decorating. And I really think it helps kind of build the flow of the journal. And sometimes you just feel like playing with paper. I'm not decorating anything in this video. I'm simply playing with folds. So these couple of little first pockets that I make are kind of a warm up to get my imagination flowing when it comes to folding paper. Sometimes it comes naturally, and other times it takes some thought to actually fold paper in a productive way that you can make these pockets quite quickly and easily. And I really love little pockets and fold outs in journals. I think they hold little surprises, and a great place, obviously, to put ephemera and other little creations you make. So there's the first little pocket. And depending how you glue them into the signature, you can also create more tuck spots and pockets, which I'll show in a little bit later. So here I'm just kind of playing with another basic pocket. And what's nice about using one book to create these is that all the pages are the same size. So you know what size you're working with. So if you have a book that you've used the cover of, or you've got some really pretty papers in a book that you want to use, these little projects are great for that. Because they're just all the same size, and then they have some really pretty writing or images depending what you're using. So this is a basic fold-up pocket. I'm sure you've seen this 100 times. Again, I'm just warming up here, kind of stopping and looking and seeing what I want to do with them. And this one, I'm just demonstrating how you can create 4 pockets with that, how you glue it in the journal. This pocket, it was something a little different. I wasn't sure where I was going with this when I started folding in the edges, but it's kind of fun just to see where these little folds take you. Sometimes I fold away and nothing comes out of it, and I end up throwing it in the recycle bin or in my scrap pile. But it is nice just to sit there and let your kind of head play with folds. So there you can see I'm kind of thinking about what I want to do with this little tube of paper, and I end up folding it back on itself and creating some side pockets. Just something a little bit different. On every page in my signature, there'll be a different kind of pocket. So I end up gluing these to a signature page out of the same book that will eventually get sewn, placed in a bunch of other papers and then sewn in a journal. So I'm inking up the edges here. I did fast forward it because there are, I believe, 6 or 7 different kinds of pockets that I make in this video. I didn't want the video to be too long, but of course there is a little bar that you can use in the top corner of YouTube that you can slow the video down and then just mute me so you don't have to listen to me drone on. So playing there with a piece of paper, deciding do I want a full pocket, and I decided on a tuck spot there, and I'm going to glue this down and create that other pocket. So lots of fun just with one simple book page. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that make these kind of videos. Like I said, I didn't think of anything specific. I just started folding papers. I really like the belly band ones. There's one in particular I like in this video with a little kind of fold open writing spot on a belly band, which I thought was kind of cute. So I might make some more of those for my journal. So here is a really pretty piece out of that book. The pine I don't necessarily use a lot, so I use up these pages as decoration because the pine photo there has some really beautiful textures to it. So I thought that would be a nice kind of focal point. So every time I pause there, I'm thinking about what I'm going to make out of this. And then by now I've warmed up a bit and my imagination's starting to work. And I'm starting to visualize different ways of using paper. And that's one of the great things about sitting around and just playing, just allowing yourself to play, not worrying about creating a masterpiece or something really functional. Just let yourself play with paper and discover what it has to offer. So I'm going to fold the back edge of this paper down as well, because all my tuck spots, anything I put in and out, I like to have a little bit more reinforcement. I like to make sure that the paper is not too thin. And this book is from the, I believe, 1952. So it has some age to it, which means the paper's a little bit more delicate than I would like. So I fold that top edge down, and then I'm going to glue it here in a second after I ink it. And it just gives it a little extra protection when you're pulling things in and out of the pages, out of the pockets. Just using my 3-in-1 glue here. So these signature pages that I'm gluing this to right now are smaller than my usual. They're wide enough, but they're not quite tall enough. So these will be shorter pages in my signatures, which is also a really nice way to use up these book pages. So you can see I created a little belly band, sideways belly band, and a couple little pockets on top of it, and still allowing that pretty paper to show through. So if you've got some nice papers, you definitely want to use them up for this. So that's another little signature ready to go in the journal. And here is the next one I'm going to do, which is the side belly band, kind of a vertical belly band. And again, I'm just playing here, folding edges, rolling them back on themselves just to create pockets. And then as I'm folding this, I thought, oh, I'll just fold this back. But then I thought it would make a really cute little kind of wraparound corner piece that I could tuck in, so like almost like a little envelope that would open up. So you can see what I mean by playing and experimenting, how you discover new things. So this might be new to me and you guys already knew about it, I don't know, but in my head this is new. So this is something I would mass make several times so that I remember to make them and have them ready for journals. That's just the way I like to make things. Some people like to decorate one page at a time and make one thing, but my brain will not remember this process if I don't do it over and over again. There's only so much room in this brain. Also, if you notice when I am cutting and folding, I tend to punch the holes in the pockets that I intend to use as pockets and ink the edges on the folds that are exposed. That way I can remember how I folded the paper. There's a lot of times where I fold the paper and then I completely forget how to glue it. So you're going to see that I am constantly inking and punching and folding, and that's how my brain operates. So there's a little piece that opens up and becomes a little spot for journaling. Later, I would probably put some blank paper over top of that so that there is room to write, or maybe a little surprise sketch in there, anything like that. Okay, so let's glue it to a signature, and that one will be ready as well. I'm just going to fold this guy in half so I know exactly where to glue it in the page here. So all of this, of course, because you haven't sewn it in the journal, they can be sewn through the sewing machine as well for extra stability. So the edges here, I would probably sew that down just to help keep it more stable when you're using it throughout the journal. And of course, you can sew the edges before you even glue it into the signature. So lots of options. So let's do another one. And I'm just on a roll using up book pages here, which makes me super happy because I have so many to use. This one is just a basic corner fold with a pocket in front. I'm sure you've seen this a million times, but what I do like is just putting them straight on the signature. That might be something new because I hadn't thought of doing that until today, where I actually build pockets and then just keep my pockets on the side ready to glue into a signature, but this time I'm gluing them to it so they're ready to go, which I think I prefer. And I don't have to overthink it then. I just get to add these pages to a bunch of other papers in sequence that I like, and the pockets are already built in. So that to me is new. I don't know if you've seen that before, let me know. If you've seen another journaler do it, or maybe you do this. But I really do like having them the folds and the pockets already established. I think that's great. So I am gluing up the center here. I just want to help with the stability of the page itself. I don't want that to be an issue when I go to glue the signatures in. So here I'm thinking about what else I want to add, and I end up adding another just a front pocket at the bottom of the triangles. So there's 2 pockets per page here. And again, using up a full page out of the book, which makes me super happy. And just gluing them in. So, I mean, you can go to town and do all kinds of these and have them all ready. Or just work on the signatures of the journal you're working in. So this one here just becomes a little side pocket. I just fold over the edges like I mentioned before, create a little stability in the pocket itself. And then I add a little belly band to the top of this with a pocket at the top so you could slide something tall and thin in. So again, possibilities are endless with these. So just gluing down the last pocket we made as a little flip out on a folded page for signature. And then I decided I want to add a pocket to the inside of here using this pretty image. This is the book I've been using, so The Trees of Canada here. And it is from 1952, and it is just a lovely book. I love the little patina edges of the paper, and it's got a nice kind of cotton feel to it, this paper. It does tear easy, however, so that's why I'm constantly folding over the edges. And here I'm just folding around to make the leaf the focal point of the envelope. And then I'm just going to glue the edges down and cut away the excess. So here I'm deciding where to place it, and do I want to make it another pocket or a tuck spot? And I decided just to glue the two sides down instead of the three, and now I have a tuck spot and an envelope, which I quite like. So there's the one pocket and the other. This is the easy pocket with the little corners and hidden little spots. And then your standard 4 pocket slot, which I'm sure is quite common. But again, all ready to go in the journal, in the signatures. Just showing you the belly band here and the pockets. This fun little belly band with the fold out and all the other hidden pockets that you can keep all little secrets in, and a little writing spot. I think that one's really cute. I'll be definitely making more of those. Here's the triangles and the square, and the side belly band that has the slide top pocket, and little corners here with the side tucks. So I hope that gave you some ideas, some inspiration for pre-using your signature pockets. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Bye.